Hi, this is Gail Tucker, and I am going to show you guys how to format a paper. I have a volunteer from the class, and it's very interesting because English is his second language and his primary language is beautiful French. And I just wanted to experiment a little bit because I do encounter students that have English as a second language, and sometimes they need a proofreader just to help with the flow of it. But we tried something a little bit different this time, and I think a proofreader is still necessary. But this may help some people, and even if English is your primary language and you're comfortable writing in English, um, I hope I hope that this video will help you with formatting in APA. So I'm gonna show you a little bit here. This is John Doe's work, and I instructed him to write it in French, and it's just beautiful. But I actually don't know French, it just looks beautiful. So, the first thing that I want to point out is that on your title sheet, everything in APA is 12-point font. So, you want to make sure that all of this highlighted out here, should all be in 12-point in either Arial or Times New Roman. So, all I'm going to do is bring it down to 12-point like that. Okay, and all the rest of your paper should be in 12-point font also. So you want to make sure that on your title page that is relatively centered. You also want to make sure that you have page numbers, and in APA we put them in the right hand corner. So all I'm going to do here is do insert, and where are my page numbers? I may have to move my little camera here. Here we go. Page numbers right here. And I want it in the top of page, and I'm going to choose in the right hand corner here. So it's automatically going to do it. Now, what I need to do though, so that I can go ahead and edit the rest of this paper, is I have to close. See close header and footer here? So I'm going to close it. And remember everybody, we used to do a running head up here, and we don't have to do that in APA 7th edition anymore. It's optional. I would just leave it be. Unless your paper says to write an abstract, you don't have to write an abstract. So the other common thing that I see is that people's different sections of their paper, like the content section and their reference page, tend to all run together, and you need hard separations on each page. So your first page should start out on its own page. Your title page should be on its own as well. So what I'm going to do is come down here to the very first paragraph, and I'm going to make sure that I stop and start a new page right there. And it's not going to move at all. Even if I put spaces in or anything else, it's not going to move once I do this. So I'm going to insert a page break right there. Okay. Now I have it on the first page. The next thing that I see is that this is all single spaced. So on the reference page here, same thing. I want to make sure that it's on its own page. So I'm going to insert, sorry, my nose is all itchy right now. Insert page break right there. So my reference page is on its own. We're going to format that a little bit more later on. So on your content, all of this needs to be double spaced. Everything per APA is double spaced here. So I'm going to just select it all like this. Beautiful French language. And I'm going to choose up here. My phone, of course, is going off right now. I am going to choose, I think it's under Home. And I'm going to go up here to spacing and choose 2 spaces. That's double spaced. And I just then formatted the whole thing. Okay. Everything that I highlighted anyway. And then in doing all that, I ended up with this blank page. You don't want that, so I'm just simply going to get that out of there. I still want my reference page on its own. Okay, so we're going back here. And now you, of course, always want an indent for every one of your paragraphs. That's just kind of basic. So we're going to indent everything here. And it's a 1/2 inch. See up here on your ruler? So we're going to, if your tabs are set right, it'll just automatically, when you hit tab, it'll move all of these in. So the beginning of each paragraph must be indented. That's how you know it's a new paragraph there. So I'm doing that. And this one. And this one. And this one. All right. We'll get to the reference page in a minute here, guys. Now, the other thing is everything is double spaced, and you don't want any more than a double space in between your paragraphs. So here you're good in between these two. Here you're good. Here you're good. And here you've got too many spaces. See how wide that is between? So all I'm going to do is back this up all the way back into here. It's a new paragraph, but I'm going to bring it down there. Since I have it set on double spacing, it's going to keep that. Here we're okay between paragraphs. Here we got a lot of spaces there. I'm not sure about that. Oh, let's see where we're at here. Yeah, so I want to make sure that's my new paragraph. It's indented and that's better. All right, and then we of course want our references on a new page, and we lost our, somehow, we lost our page breaks. We're going to put it back in. We want our reference page on a whole new page. So again, we want to insert right before that a page break, or we can put it immediately after that there, the last word of our paper. So insert page break, okay? Anyway, there we go. Okay, we always want our reference title and its references. We want that to be in bold. Come back to home, bold, and we want it centered. Here's your orientations, left oriented, centered, right oriented. So you want that centered in the middle of the page, okay? And then all of your references, again, should be double spaced. So you can see here that we have a lot of spaces between that. We have 3 references. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of some spaces here. All of this should just be double spaced. And to make sure that that's just double spaced, it looks like a lot there. I'm just going to return, bring that there. There we go. That's better. Return, and there. We're all double spaced. And these should all be hanging indents. So when it's a hanging indent, just like your indent for the beginning of every paragraph is a 1/2 inch, same as your hanging indent. So how you do that is your top little ruler up here, see that? That controls the first of your lines there, okay? And the bottom controls the other lines of your hanging indent. So what I'm going to do, if I remember how to do this right, is I'm going to put that there on where I want the hanging indent, which is the second line. And I am going to bring that in to a 1/2 inch. See the marker I'm trying to get, because it's not quite there. And it's not doing it for me. Let's see here. Let me bring everything back to the very end. Since I didn't type this, I'm not sure what's going on, but we're going to fix it here somehow. Okay, bring it all in, and then put there, and I want to bring, let's see guys, I'm not doing a very good example, am I? I'm going to show you a much simpler way of doing these papers here in a second. So, I really want to bring that in. So do I want to, those should be even. And then I'm going to bring, there we go. Well, that moved it. That into a 1/2 inch, okay? And I'm just playing with it. Sometimes it's not pretty, but we'll get it. I'm going to move that in again to 1/2 inch. Well, I tell you what, guys, I'm going to show you how to do this in an easier way. I didn't type this, so it's got some formatting stuff in there that's just not playing well. I'm going to put that back into a double space here. There we go. Put everything back to center there. And I'm not going to spend much more time on that because I'm going to show you a much better, easier way of doing your hanging indents. Come on back, guy. All right. So, let's see here. The next thing I want to show you guys is to make sure that all your margins are totally 1 inch around. That's APA. So you're going to come over here to margins, and that's just a little bit outside of my window there. Margins. But first I'm going to do select all, sorry. Select, select, select. Where's select, guys? Oh, editor, editor. Where's our select all? Layout, review. Hide, hide. Tracking. Where's my select all? Well, when in doubt, select all. We're just going to select all. There is a select all in there, but now that I'm under the gun here. So then we're going to go into layout, margins, and see this one? 1 inch to the top, 1 inch to the left, 1 inch to the bottom, 1 inch to the right. That's 1 inch all the way around. Okay? So that make sure that our margins are all set. The next cool thing that I'm going to do that I really wanted to experiment with for people who English is their second language. Did you know that you can highlight all of this here and we're going to translate it? And for some languages this works. For others it's just a little bit it's a little bit clumsy and you still need to have somebody proofread it either way. But I thought that for French it actually worked out pretty good. So I highlighted everything. I'm going to right click and then I'm going to come down here and translate. And then it opens this nice little box over here, guys and girls. And I can just do the selected part, or I can do the whole document. And it's going to auto detect the language to English and translate. All right. So one thing it did is it switched my font from New Times. It says it's New Times, but it's not. But we're going to switch it around. That's okay. So it actually came out pretty good for a translation. So that's one way that you can do it if English isn't your primary language. And then you would just read through it and kind of see how it reads or have a proofreader help you read through it. The Reading Center or GCU can do that. Certainly you need to make sure that your auto speller check is on so that you can correct any misspellings in the translation like that. Okay, and we still need to fix those hanging indents, darn it. For sure. There. All right. So we lost our indent there. All right. So what I would do is go back now and select all, and I want to make sure that this is either an Arial or New Times Roman, so that it meets APA, and it changed it in the translation to that. So we're going to go back to Times Roman and 12, and we got it. Okay. So everybody, this is how one way that you can do a translation and then get a proofread on it. It's how you can just kind of by hand put in your APA. And now I'm going to show you how I write my papers for school. And hopefully this recording doesn't shut off on us. So I have an add-in on mine. See this Perla up here? I have Perla. And I think it's a couple of bucks, maybe 20 bucks a year, something like that. You can get a free 7-day run on it. And you can also download Grammarly, and it will help you in your papers once you download it on your laptop or computer. It will help you on emails, on your papers. It just infiltrates everything that you have, and it's very helpful, as well as making sure that your auto spell check is on. But Perla is fantastic. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to stop this recording because I think that I'm limited to 15 minutes on these recordings. And so I don't want to cut us off. So I'm going to stop here and then I'm going to come back with part 2 and show you how to use Perla, which you will be amazed and you will love it and you will never go back again. Okay, I'll see you guys in a few minutes.